Good one. We are, there we go. I just went live on Facebook, so if this one doesn't work, you can go to my Facebook video. We're up to over at facebook.com/call me Gav, because I had a little more success with that stream. YouTube is a demanding taskmaster. We're down here in Puebla State, and you're watching Ongo. We're just taking a little bit of a trip for the weekend. Decided we'd go down. My parents are down here in Mexico for a visit, and well, let's go down to the coast, do a little exploring. So we're gonna go down to Veracruz, and right now we're in this area near Huachinango, at this little hotel. It's about a 6-room hotel up here, very nice, very muy tranquilo. Good morning, everyone. Buenos dias. So check this out. It's a lot like where we're at right now in Mexico. It kind of reminds me of where I was born, near Seattle and San Juan Islands, all that area in there. And we moved out of there because it was too crazy when I was like 7 years old. But of course, I've spent a lot of time. I have a lot of family over in Seattle and stuff like that. And when I stand out here, this is the view I woke up to this morning. And thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm getting terrible signal here. YouTube's like, I want more data. I want more data. But this is a neat little place. And you don't see the bamboo so much in Seattle, but you know, you've got trees here, and it's a lot wetter of an area. Kind of this place is built right up on the hill, and it's pretty cool here. We came down. There's a lot of variety is the thing. There's so much variety in Mexico, along with having an actual taste of freedom that people in the U.S. have very little grasp of. Most people living in the U.S. today have never experienced freedom. And so there's a lot of diversity. I mean, just an hour back, we were in kind of a high desert, right? So you come through Hidalgo, and there's rock quarries, and they're making marble statues, and there's deserts. And then you go down in the valleys, and in the valleys is just these beautiful lush farmlands. And then as we get closer to the coast, you kind of cross the hump of the mountains, 8,000 feet up, and you cross the hump of the mountains, and you kind of swing down, and now we're kind of coming into jungle. And as we go down toward the coast, it'll turn more into jungle. So this is not the California side of the coast. This is the Gulf side. And there's the super van right there. We're just cruising, and you know, it's really cool. It's really neat, guys. It really makes you think, because you know, as an artist, the landscapes are really cool. But when you look at the status of the USA, and how enslaved it is, and how the corruption and all the people filling the prisons, and blue ISIS, and how the violence from our government, and then I see people falling for the propaganda that's put out about Mexico. And is Mexico perfect? No, but you actually have some freedom down here. You don't constantly have police molesting you, robbing you, extorting you, murdering and raping your families. I mean, this is everyday stuff. Remember that the police in the USA are the #1 terrorist organization. That's why we call them Blue ISIS, because on the numbers, they're the #1 terror organization in the USA, and they kill more people than all other terrorist organizations combined. Okay, that's how bad it's gotten in the USA. And it's sad, it's heartbreaking, because the USA is a beautiful place, but we've destroyed it by compliance. We've destroyed it because instead of saying, no, I refuse to tolerate your court, I refuse to show up, I refuse to deal with your fake laws, instead of that, we've said, okay, we have to play their way. The only way to fix it is to do what they tell us. And that's nonsense. And that's one of these things that you never succeed at when you have that mindset. And I've had a lot of people when I left the USA and said no more, right? I'm not walking into a gas chamber. They're trying to kill me or put me in prison. I'm not going to do that. People said, oh, you know, that's cowardice that you're not doing it their way and showing up in their court. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. Defending freedom is not submitting to tyranny. It's resisting it. Now, you guys have to choose. We all have to choose how we do that with honor. But I just want to remind all of you, you don't have to walk into a gas chamber. Oh, that branch fell off that tree. So I was just distracted because there's a branch, and it just fell down off that tree, and it hit that guy's car, Looks like everybody's okay, but it was a pretty good sized branch. So, anyways, back on track here. It's really cool. There's Nathan. Hi, Nathan. And so yeah, we got 3 rooms here. You wouldn't see that. No, you don't see the bamboo in Seattle. Mom's really here. We got 3 rooms here last night for what was $111 US total. So it was about $40 a room for 3 rooms for all of us. And you know, they're not huge rooms, but they're very nice. They got little bathrooms and lots of wood. And there's my lady. There's my girl. There's my other girl, my boy. Trying to reconnect here.
That one? Yeah.
Watch your step, kiddos. I'm trying, but the signal's giving me trouble. The connection's giving me trouble. Still don't think I'm on, guys. I don't see your comments. Hey, it says I'm back. I'm trying. I'm trying. Look at this beautiful place. All right, so if you guys can hear me, give me a shout out. And just overlooking Huachinango here. But anyways, I just kind of wanted to show you guys our morning view and kind of, you know, showing you these different places in Real Mexico. You can also follow the Facebook page. Okay, we might be back. It keeps cutting off. So I'm going to wrap up the data up here. One of the things you have in the Slave USA tends to be better internet because they have to have that internet to track everything you do, right? So that infrastructure is a little bit stronger in the land of the land of the slave and the home of the coward. But unfortunately, that's what we've become. We've become the #1 terrorists of the world. We've become the #1 terrorists of our own people. We've become the instigators of violence. And you see all these wars in all these countries, and the U.S. is usually behind them. You see people being abused and molested and murdered all over the planet. And the U.S. politicians are behind the scenes pulling those strings so they can keep power and keep fear over you and keep you thinking that everyone else is the bad guy. And in reality, the USA are the terrorists of the entire planet. Now, that doesn't mean there's not other bad guys. Don't get me wrong. I realize there's other tyrants and other regimes and all that kind of stuff. But it just blows my mind the more I see how much we're involved in, how much evil we've perpetrated on the world. And it's been going on for a long time, but it's getting worse and worse and worse. And it's just a shame because the USA with our Constitution was beautiful, and our idea of liberty was beautiful, but we filled it with hypocrisy and abusing others almost from day one, you guys. You can't say, God help us have freedom, and then go abuse your neighbor because they're black or because they're an Indian or because they're a Muslim. It doesn't work. It's not justice. It's not freedom, and it won't restore any sort of order, and neither will complying. So make your home the place where people love their neighbor and where there's freedom. And don't get stuck in this rut of, I have to stay where I'm at. I have to fix it. It's the only place. It's as good as it gets. It's not as good as it gets. The USA is one of the most fascist, tyrannical regimes. It's one of the worst countries on the planet. Now, I haven't been to all of them, but I'm seeing more and more how we truly are, what a mess we've truly become. And the only way the USA is getting freedom again is not electing more treasonous politicians. It's not the latest guy that's getting attention in the party. The only way USA is restoring to freedom is if we repent and humble ourselves. And when it crumbles to ash, if there's rebuilding from the ash. That's the only way I see that happening. And I think we're being unrealistic if we pretend like, well, we're going to fix this by playing their way. The person that says that courage is bowing down and playing the way of tyrants is a coward. That's what they are. And the fact is, the people who've resisted tyrants all throughout history have said no, and they've walked away. They've fled from the face of tyranny, and sometimes they turn around and they punch the bully in the nose, and a lot of times they don't. And so don't let somebody define your courage who doesn't have the courage to stand for themselves, to stand for their neighbor, and to speak out. Don't ever let someone who says that Blue ISIS is the good guys, that our country is the best and the greatest, someone so filled with pride that they have no concept of what it means to have justice and freedom in the courts. And they don't understand that locking people in cement cages is human abuse. They don't understand that bombing the world is human abuse. Don't let people who are filled with hate and cowardice and fear and terror from a terrorist government, don't let them define you. But do get out there and explore the world. Maybe Mexico is not the place for you, but there's probably somewhere else that is, because there's lots of places that have more freedom than the USA, and there's places that don't. So do your homework. But it's amazing, it's refreshing to wake up in the morning and look out, and yeah, there's struggles, you know, yeah, it's hard being in a new place. It's hard being a refugee from the USSA in a lot of ways. But what's not hard is waking up and looking out your window and feeling that spirit of oppression be so less, knowing that police aren't shooting people on the streets and getting away with it every single day, knowing that there's a semblance of freedom. Okay, anyways, I keep losing signal. I'm gonna go. We're gonna get on the road. We're gonna go out to the coast. Maybe I'll do another live stream tonight or tomorrow if I can get some signal down there. We'll see how it goes. Hey, just keep questioning everything, right? Question and challenge government all the time, because otherwise they will trample you every single time. And that's pretty much a truth no matter where in the world you are. What I like about here is when you question the government, they don't beat you with a stick and shoot you in the head as a matter of course and lock you in a cage like they do in the USA. It's really sad. God help us and our prisoners that are filling our prisons, from Jeff to Schaefer Cox, to Leonard Peltier, to just, it's endless, guys. It's endless. I wish I could name all their names, but I'm gonna go. I may delete this video later because I'm guessing the quality was really poor on my video here, but I did do another one over my Facebook page, and we'll see from there. But let me just give you one last view. Look at that. That's the view over Huachinango. That's just the desert wasteland, right, where everybody's wishing they were American. Not. All right, guys. Peace. Have a good day.